Hey, and welcome back to my channel. The last couple of decades have gone by really quickly, and they've been huge for the world of recruiting. The internet has ushered in the new age, changing the way companies reach out to qualified candidates and fill vacant roles. Online recruiting is a relatively new phenomenon, and given the constant state of flux that's inherent to the internet and indeed the world of recruiting as a whole, the industry is constantly evolving. The global pandemic was certainly no help, and the already burgeoning world of online staffing was forced through another evolution in order to adapt to brand new remote work policies. So as you can imagine, these frequent changes mean recruiters are faced with a variety of novel obstacles every single day, some recurring and some that reveal themselves as the industry adapts to change. So in this video, I'm going to explore the top 5 problems that recruiters face in 2022. Some may be familiar to veteran recruiters, while some have only shown up within the last few years or even months as we evolve the way we work and do business. But before we get started, as always, remember to like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot. Obviously, there are a whole lot more than 5 problems a recruiter may face in their daily lives. In fact, there are probably countless variations of different issues that can occur at any given time during the process. My goal with this video is to explore some of the high-level obstacles recruiters face as the professional world evolves and changes. These tips will help you stand out as a qualified and trustworthy recruiter who is adaptable and can meet the ever-changing staffing needs of the 21st century. Standing out in a crowded industry. So the rise of online talent sourcing has made it harder for the best recruiters to stand out among the thousands of mediocre ones. Potential candidates or even clients are far more likely to overlook or ignore you unless you built a reputable brand and establish yourself as a reliable and trustworthy recruiter. This means not only providing top quality services, but also staying active online. One of the first things both candidates and clients will do is to research you and your services before working with you. There are countless ways to establish yourself online. You can share relevant, valuable content on social media, or even participate in online forums and discussions. Me? I decided to share my knowledge here on YouTube with you guys. Anything you can do to demonstrate that you're active and you care about the world of recruiting beyond a simple paycheck will work wonders in establishing a reputable brand out there. Reaching the best candidates. Available candidates who are truly qualified are likely inundated with requests from other recruiters and may even be actively pursuing multiple job opportunities. Finding these candidates among the overwhelming of unqualified ones and keeping their interest can pose a significant challenge. Especially during the age of the Great Resignation, lingering uncertainty comes out of the global pandemic, and concerns over the developing situation between Ukraine and Russia, the skilled labor shortage is bound to be an obstacle for all recruiters. The best solution to this issue is to use tangible data to determine where to focus your efforts. In today's fast-paced world, there's little room for wasted time. It may seem beneficial to cast as wide of a net as possible. Indeed, there are some potential upsides to this, but it can also lead to a lot of time chasing candidates in places where the demand greatly exceeds the supply. You want to find specific talent sources that suit your needs and consider working with your client to widen their talent pool with internal adjustments. For instance, they can consider looking for recent college grads or developing a remote work program and expanding their training programs to allow qualified but underexperienced candidates to fill in the gaps in their knowledge. When reaching out to potential candidates, use personalization, use their first name often, do some background research so you can hone in on their values and motivations. Of course, don't go overboard. Not only do you waste time by going into too much detail, but also could come off as a little bit creepy. Spend a few minutes to personalize your outreach, but refrain becoming a stalker. Additionally, make sure you're providing as much detail and information as possible in the job listing and your outreach, and really work with your client to develop a list of effective questions that will drill down on an applicant's skills and weaknesses. Providing a smooth interview experience. So once you successfully gather a decent pool of qualified applicants, you can move into the interview process. At this point, it may be easy to think you've got it in the bag. One of these candidates is bound to get the job after interviewing, right? Not always the case. Of course, your client needs to approve and send them an offer, but even before that, you need to make sure the interview experience is perfect as much as you can for their candidates. A LinkedIn talent blog survey found that 65% of candidates state a bad interview experience is enough to cause the candidate to lose interest in the job. Research shows that during an interview, candidates are most interested in learning about the responsibilities of the role. So the best thing you can do is go in depth about the potential duties and answer all of their questions as best as possible. Remember that sending a good impression is key here, and you want to emphasize the perks and benefits of working for the company. As the interview concludes, provide a clear timeline and commit to sending the candidates regular updates so they don't lose interest and accept ultimately another offer. Adapting to the new normal. I've already talked plenty about how much the pandemic has affected really all aspects of staffing and recruiting. But as we move out of the pandemic and into a new world where remote work is even more prevalent than before, it absolutely is worth noting as a significant challenge for recruiters going forward. The pandemic has accelerated the need for remote solutions to locate, assess, and connect with potential candidates. But some recruiters are finding it hard to connect with people in exclusively virtual environments. True personalization is much harder to achieve without in-person, face-to-face contacts. There are some ways to improve the virtual hiring experience. However, you'll want to be extra careful to keep in constant contact with all parties involved. Set a strict contact schedule and stick to it, and be extra detailed with emails or text communications. Whenever possible, opt for solutions such as Zoom, Slack, Google Meet, or good old-fashioned phone calls. The closer you can get to in-person interactions, the better. Encountering difficult clients. In their professional life, everyone is bound to encounter coworkers, team members, and managers that they just don't get along with. In the recruiting world, this can be especially true. When you're working with so many different people across a variety of organizations, you will undoubtedly encounter difficult clients. For instance, a picky hiring manager that has too many requirements and is micromanaging every step of the way. So remember, communication is key here. Foster a two-way relationship with your client and really make sure you're listening to their concerns and considering their suggestions. Oftentimes, there are underlying reasons for being difficult or picky that you can manage. Maybe a hiring manager has had a bad experience with a new hire turnover. Maybe that's something that can be in trust. On the other hand, don't be afraid to put your foot down and rely on your expertise to make firm suggestions or recommendations to your client. They hired you for a reason, and if they don't allow you to do your job, it may be best to end your relationship with the client. Don't ever take on more trouble than you should. Recruiters are busy enough. Managing a busy schedule. Recruiters are busy. I know this better than anyone else. Today's connected world has in many ways made the recruiter's job much easier, but it also means that there's more work to be done and needs to be done promptly. The best recruiters maintain a schedule and they stick to it. Resist the urge to check your emails as you receive them unless absolutely necessary, or even block time off for the most urgent and time-consuming tasks. You can also leverage software such as applicant tracking system to take some of the hard work out of managing and contacting candidates. Like I said, this is only a broad overview of the potential challenges recruiters face today. There are surely countless more variations that may show up. There's honestly no way to possibly know exactly what challenges you'll face, but keeping this in mind will help you prepare for anything. Can you think of any other challenges recruiters face today that I forgot to mention? Be sure to drop them below. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please consider liking, subscribing, and clicking that bell. It's completely free, means a lot. Please also feel free to follow me at Press_Park, as I will try my best to also post daily. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.